What's up guys, this is Miasin and welcome to the Farking Snake Eye combo video and deck profile that I've been hyping up for quite a while. I know I'm late, sorry, but better late than never. Anyways, this deck is really good. It kinda didn't really lose too much from the ban list because the Farking engine is still intact. The Snake Eye engine kinda got a nerf, but now the way we want to play the deck is Farking featuring Snake Eyes instead of the other way around, because that's kinda what it was before. And you can still beat Nibiru just with the Farking cards. Arvada is one heck of a card, and also Barong, shoutouts to Jonah. Anyways, before we go any further, friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button. You already know the drill, and let's get right into it. Alright, so combo number one with Snake Eye Ash, there are like infinite variations, but let's just assume that you're playing somewhat of a basic build. Look at what you can do. So 2 summons so far. This does beat Nibiru, obviously. I mean, I would assume that Snake Eye Ash on its own would beat Nibiru, otherwise we would kind of have a little bit of an issue. And then summon number 5 is going to be the Flamberge here, so if you get nibbed, it's not the end of the world. You can still float and have 3 monsters. But yeah, original, which we use on the populace that we place with the Flamberge, summon the Ponyx, surge the Sanctuary into Island, and then Island destroy the Ponyx, surge Garunix, and then summon the Garunix, destroy the Arvada, which is really important to get in the graveyard so that we can revive back with Kirin later on, revive back the Ponyx or any fire BBW, and then link off into Princess, revive back the Arvada by using the Flamberge, and then it floats into 2 monsters. And then we can either go for the Moon of the Closed Heaven, or we can go for the, what's-his-face, Azaroon. Well, I mean, the top had hair into Azaroon. So regardless of what you do, you're getting a lot of interruptions, which is really good. Personally, I'm a big fan of the Continuous Chat package, because it's only like 1 brick for 1 card in the extra deck, whereas the Fiendsmith engine, it's also 1 brick for 4 cards in your extra deck. But in return, you end on Caesar, which is a really good card. But it also beats like Dark Ruler a little more if you end on Azaroon, because it diversifies your threats a bit more. And it's also extremely good against Tent by Dragon, because then you get to summon your Chop and then destroy the field spell, which is only a 1 of now, which is absolutely beautiful. But yeah, that's it for combo number 1. This is like 9 interruptions or something absurd like that, because you got Princess, Garunix, and the whole family in the grave. So that when your opponent summons something, or when you negate something with Arvada, you destroy the Ambler Whale, revive back the IP Masquerena, and then also get back the Garunix, destroy Kirin, and then revive back a monster, destroy something, and then IP can link off into SP, and then you still got double Caesar negate, the Ambler Whale pop in the graveyard. It's absurd. Like, there's absolutely no way you can lose with this kind of board. But yeah, that's it for combo number 1. Let's get into combo number 2. Okay, so if you are a Snake Eyes player, you would know that whether you draw Snake Eye Ash or the Abelstar, it's usually not, and like, it's not really much of a difference, because you're not really going into original Sinful Spell Snake Eye in the regular Snake Eye Ash combo, but in the Abelstar, you have to use your original to get the Snake Eye Ash. So in the Farking build, it's a little different, because if you draw just Witch and nothing else, the way you access the Ponyx, the Farking engine, is by searching it off of Snake Eye Ash instead of summoning it off of original. So the combo is actually much different when you draw Witch and when you draw Snake Eye Ash. So let's play it out. So the Abelstar pitch anything, get the original, and then summon the Snake Eye Ash. And we can't go into Populace here. I mean, we could, but then it would basically be the same as playing a pure Snake Eye deck, which makes no sense if I'm trying to showcase Farking combos. No shit. So yeah, normal summon the Ponyx with that we searched, and then get your hands on the Sanctuary, place the Island, and then we are at 3 summons. Summon number 4 is going to be the Oak, recycle back very specifically the Ponyx, and then summon number 5 is going to be the Flamberge. So from here on out, we check Nibiru just a little bit, destroy the Ponyx, search the Garunix, and then destroy, summon that, and then destroy the Barong. So now if we get Nibiru, which we would get Nibiru exactly here, there is no reason to wait until we summon a Princess, because that's going to fuel our graveyard even more. We're gonna get hit by Nibiru. What's gonna happen is that on the opponent's standby phase, Ponyx comes back to our hand because we destroyed it with Garunix and we never brought it back, so it's not like it's gonna forget. And Barong is gonna be searching Kirin, so yeah, that's the reason why Barong is kind of nice. And I think the Farking build, it's finally gonna see its, it's gonna shine for once in its life. But yeah, Princess, in case we don't get hit by Nib, revive back the Flamberge, place the IP in the Spell and Trap zone, and then make an Ambler Whale. We do not have Arvada in the grave, so that's the reason why we can't rely on the good old trick of having Arvada and Ambler Whale, and then Arvada negate to destroy Ambler Whale and then revive back the IP. So we do have to rely a little bit more on the Flamberge, but we can still get access to Arvada on the opponent's turn. Again, Farking is just so good at doing so many things that you would never imagine possible. But yeah, this board looks fair, but it's really not. It's a lot of interruptions. So yeah, we can go Flamberge into IP, right? And then IP using the Flamberge to make SP, Chilling 1, Chilling 2. Banish the shit out of that original and then summon back my 2 monsters. Snake Eye Ash can even search me a Populace, which I shouldn't summon because I really want to have as many slots, extra space on my field as possible. At any moment, I can go Kirin, destroy a fire monster on the field that isn't Tableau Whale, because again, I need a lot of space. And then trigger the Garunix, which is then gonna also, trigger the Princess in order to destroy that Kirin, which then is gonna revive back the Arvada that I just popped with the Garunix, and Arvada can also revive back the Barong, which means that when it dies, I'm also able to search another Kirin next turn. And I can pop with the Kirin. So I don't know if you've been keeping track, but the Princess pops one, Kirin pops one, and Blue Whale could pop one eventually, and we're not done yet because we also have the negation off of the Arvada, and that's also after the SP banish and absolutely everything that you can think of. And again, like I said, Barong searches. Look at this, man. You got so much recursion. You can absolutely OTK next turn super easily, just using the monsters that are already there on the field. And I want to say this deck is just so nasty at utilizing the Zealantis OTK package, even though obviously Pure Snake Eyes does it just as well. This deck, just because of the amount of graveyard effects, when you destroy like your monsters with Princess, you also get back even more recursion. Okay, so far I've shown a combination of hands where you would be drawing, well, I mean, not really combinations, but very standard combos where when you draw Snake Eye Ash or Witch, look at what you can do. There's also a combo where if you draw Snake Eye Ash and Witch, you can do a nasty board, but that implies that you gotta play the Fiendsmith Engine and Divine Temple. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And my solution, well, I mean, what I want to show you guys today is a build that doesn't really rely on the Fiendsmith Engine too much, so even if it gets banned, it's not a problem. And also, we're not going to be relying too much on the Snake Eye cards, but rather, we're going to be making the Fire King cards worse, I mean, more manageable to draw. You know, when you draw them, you're not going to be angry about it. So yeah, normal summon Ponyx, and then get your search for the Sanctuary, which then gets to your island. And then link off for El Mirage, very specifically. Island, destroy Arvada, Surge Garunix, and then Chilling 1, Arvada, roll back the Ponyx. Chilling 2, Garunix summon itself, and then destroy the Kirin. So far, we are exactly at 4 summons, and summon number 5 is going to be Arvada, so now we are Nibiru-proof. Just using 2 Fire King cards is crazy. And the end board, honestly, is going to be pretty much almost the exact same. Anyways, link off into Doolittle Chimera, and then Princess, revive back anything, doesn't matter. Link off into Emblem Whale, and call it a turn. And I swear on my life, this is a good board in 2024. I'm not capping. It's actually a good board. It still beats Dark Ruler. It still makes a lot of interruptions through like whatever board breaker you may have, and it gets you a crazy resource game. Like your follow-up is going to be the nuts. So yeah, Princess revive back the Doolittle Chimera. Well, I mean, destroy the Emblem Whale, which then revives back the Doolittle Chimera, and then we can go negate a monster effect with Arvada, destroy the Doolittle Chimera, which then revives back the Garunix, and Doolittle Chimera is going to be recycling back the Kirin. So that's the reason why we are... by the way, Emblem Whale is going to be destroying a card, so that's another pop, and we're not even close to being done, because now Garunix can destroy Kirin, and then revive back the Ponyx, and then destroy a card again. So that's pop number 3, and we're also still not done, because we can go Kirin, destroy a fire monster, and then we can prepare ourselves to summon the Garunix Eternity Yang, and that is going to be a dark hole for every monster other than itself on the field. And we still have a little bit of a spell and trap removal, so now our opponent is going to be passing turn, and we can kill with whatever we have here. Whatever, get back your Ponyx. I couldn't care legs. Garunix destroy the shit out of that Divine Temple, and then Island destroy my Garunix, and then revive back 2 monsters, because Garunix and Garunix. Way too many Garunixes in this deck. I think there's like 4 in total. Yeah, destroy Kirin, and then revive back Arvada, destroy a card, normal summon Barong, even though I didn't have to do that. Attack, attack, attack. There you go, and you are dead. Merry Christmas. Let's get into the deck profile. Alrighty, for the deck list, I am playing 15 hand traps in the main deck. It makes a lot of sense. So 3 Imperm, 3 Ash, 3 Ogre, 3 Nibiru, 3 Veiler. These are the most generic hand traps that you can play. You can also try to squeeze in 2 Bestials, but then you would maybe have to cut the 1-for-1 and the 3rd Kirin. Kinda can't really cut the Barong, because otherwise you're not gonna have a lot of tools to beat Nibiru, unfortunately. And the Azaroon is here for a bunch of reasons. First of all, it's just a really good way of getting access to a lot of interruptions using only 2 monsters, and it is a way you can kind of beat Shifter a little bit if you can summon 2 monsters, but to be fair, this is rarely coming up. Maybe you might even want to cut this or replace it with the Fiendsmith Engine. It's really up to you. The extra deck space is a little tight, but you can still make it work. So you can cut the El Mirage, the Doolittle Chimera, the Silhouette Rabbit, and the second Princess for these 4 cards, and then again replace the Continuous Trap with the Engraver. So I'm really just showing you a bunch of options, but I'm not necessarily telling you that one way is objectively better than the other. Anyways, for the Fire King cards, 1 Garunix, 1 Arvada, 1 Ponyx, and then the Barong and the triple Kirin. Kirin is basically like Cross Out or Call by the Grave in this deck, so I think it's just a really good card. Whether you want to play 2 or 3, honestly, I really don't care. I tested every kind of number for Kirin. I even tested one Kirin. Yeah, that was the only one that I didn't like. But whether I played 2 or 3 Kirin, I never really felt like that much of a difference. So honestly, I think it's a good card, but it's up to you. If you want more consistency, then you can also just cut this down to 2 and try to play more starters. Although I can't really think of anything other than like Small World that would be like a 1-card starter for this deck. Anyways, 1 Snake Eye Ash, 1 Populous, and then a 1 Original. Actually, you know what? Yeah, you can play 3 Original. That's a way you can have more consistency. 3 Wanted, 3 Witch, 3 Bonfire, and then the 1 Furrow, which I think is needed when you don't have a lot of starters. And the Snake Eye Oak and the Flamberge, the taxes, like I want to say. For the extra deck, the Garunic Succeeds, Zealantis, Raging Phoenix, Access Code with no Celine. If you can try to squeeze it in, that would be nice. And Blue Whale Princess, Hita, SP, IP, Phoenix, Relinquished Anima, and the 4 cards that are very negotiable. And for the idea section, more copies of Original Sinfospo Snake Eye, Divine Temple if you can squeeze it in. And then the 4 cards for the Fiendsmith package, the Engraver, the Typhon, if you can also fit it in because it's a really good card. The Bestials, which are also very good, Celine. This is not gonna come up like ever, so I don't really think you need them. It's just 2 more cards for a play that basically only comes up if you dedicate, like, I mean, not really, but it's just ass, so forget about it. And then I also play, or at least consider playing Dark, Sunlight Wolf, and Snake Eye Diabellstar. I actually tested with all these cards. I mean, back in the days, these 2 cards were staple in the deck, but now, not really. They kind of fell off. And Snake Eye Diabellstar is, how can I put it? Yeah, it forces you to play Divine Temple, obviously, which I think in this deck, it's not really good because then you have way too many cards that aren't Fire King cards, aren't related to your engine whatsoever, and it's just going to be so many bricks, you might as well just play another version of Snake Eye, so I don't think this is the correct build to play almost a pure Snake Eye deck featuring a Fire King engine. It's going to be just incoherent. But yeah, or rather incohesive. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.